Hey gang, Craig Ripley here. Welcome once again to Living Off the Slab. And for this video, we're going to continue looking at some of the bikes for 2019 that have just been released. And for this video, what we're going to talk about is the newly redesigned 2019 Indian Chieftain. So from 2014 through 2018, right, the Indian Chieftains had the big skirted fenders and all of the chrome and the bells and whistles that you would expect to have on a high-end Indian motorcycle. And while that original classic Chieftain is still available, Polaris has decided to redesign the Chieftain for 2019 and give it what they call a sleeker, more aggressive styling. Now, if you remember back to the beginning of 2017, when Polaris announced that they were doing away with the Victory line, the question came up and they were asked, are you going to move any of the successful Victory models like the Cross Country over into the Indian line? And they said, no, we're not going to do that. Everything in the Indian line is going to be a new model, right, produced specifically for Indian. And I completely understand that and agree with them. You can't just move a Victory over there, rebadge it as an Indian, right? It would be, well, disingenuous and everybody would see right through it. However, they did say that you would probably see some of the Victory styling and the features that everybody did like larger floorboards, more room in the cockpit area. You might see some of that kind of stuff move over into the Indian line in future models. And personally, I think that's exactly what you're seeing with this new Chieftain, right? You're seeing, said, a sleeker, more beveled edges that are carved into the fairing and into the bags, and those are very reminiscent of Victory designs of the past. And of course, styling is a very personal thing. Some people are going to like this new styling and some people aren't going to like it, right? Coming from me, I like the more modern style. That's why I went with the Victory, and particularly the Victory Vision. I appreciate that more modern, forward-thinking design, right? The Indian bikes right now are gorgeous bikes. I mean, I think they did a great job designing the engines and designing the bikes as a whole, but they're just not my thing, right? I am just not into all of that chrome and all of the fringe and all of that kind of stuff. Again, it's just not my thing. However, this new model is more something that I would buy, right? Again, sleeker, cleaner lines, cleaner look, right? However, I know that there are people who aren't going to like it, and that is why Indian still offers the Chieftain Classic for those people who want that old classic look in their motorcycle. Now, we'll get back to talking more about the new design here in a second, but for now, what I want to do is shift into something else that I really like about what they've done with these 2019 Chieftains, right? And that is that they have added driving modes onto the motorcycle, right? This is something that cruisers haven't had in the past, right? The new Yamaha Venture came out with this, but Harley Davidsons and Indians and most of the other big cruisers just haven't even bothered with this because they probably figured that the people buying them really aren't interested. But for me, this brings the cruiser up into the 21st century, and that is that they now have a sport mode, they now have a standard mode, and what they call a touring mode. And touring mode, from my understanding, the way it's been explained to me so far, is basically the way that the bike was tuned from the factory in previous years. Standard mode is a step up, and then sport mode is 2 steps up from that. So you're just getting a lot more throttle response, a lot more of the engine power sooner, right, when you move up to sport mode. And again, from what I've heard, that really peps up the bike, really wakens it up and makes it really go. So I'm curious to go out and ride that and see how good these new modes really work. Now, of course, this is an American motorcycle, and it is a big American touring motorcycle, so you know they're going to cost a lot of money. And the Chieftains, the new ones, are no exception to the rule, right? You're going to be paying $21,999 for the standard version of the Chieftain with ABS, and for the Dark Horse, or for what they call the limited versions, you're going to be paying $26,749. Okay, let's get back to talking about the design of this motorcycle, the change in design, change in direction a little bit. Right, and I guess more what I want to talk about is not the design itself, because as I said before, you're either going to like it or you're not going to like it. Again, that's completely your decision, right? But the response from people for this change, right, at least based upon the comments that I've seen from postings, you know, in the forums and on Facebook and everything, people are just absolutely upset. They can't believe it. I mean, they're saying, you know, F you, Polaris has, you know, just denigrated the Indian line, and, you know, they look too much like Harleys, and blah, 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 on and on and on. And I mean, it is the internet. You have no idea whether people are just being truthful or they are just trying to get a rise out of you. However, right, it just seems that if people are really this upset about the change in design of a motorcycle, especially when the old design is still there for you, right, that you really need to reevaluate your lives. I mean, this is a motorcycle, guys. It is supposed to be about fun. It isn't your life. It doesn't represent your manhood. Or if it does, then you, again, need to reevaluate your life and what you're putting as a priority, right? These are just motorcycles, right? If you don't like the design of one, go out and get another one, right? That's all you got to do, right? It has nothing to do with you personally. Polaris doesn't care. Harley Davidson doesn't care what you as an individual think. They're trying to sell motorcycles. They're trying to make money, right? It isn't about hurting your feelings, right? So, I don't know. That's all I got to say about that. All right, guys, so I'm down from my soapbox. And again, if you like what we're doing here, please subscribe. And thank you again if you're supporting this channel by either buying t-shirts, buying sweatshirts, buying from Twisted Throttle, buying my new ebook, or signing up to be a Slab Insider where you get additional content. All right, so thank you all, and we'll see you on the road. So thanks for watching, and if you like what you see, please consider supporting this channel. In the description of this video, you'll find several ways in which you can help to support the channel and keep these videos coming. Just pick the ones that make most sense to you. Whatever it is, we greatly appreciate all the help. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.